I have an interesting question because I feel like for me, I think this is many entrepreneurs. You're an idea person. You like, I'm not always passionate about the same things. They evolve. But one of the things I struggle with as an entrepreneur is I feel like as an entrepreneur, you have to focus and see things through. And, if you stop and go from one thing you're passionate about to another thing you're passionate about, you're not going to get anywhere. So you have to focus. And one thing I think that's interesting about your story is that you have jumped around. You moved to the Philippines. You've started photography businesses. You started other businesses I probably don't even know about. So how do you balance that between mastery on the one hand and also pursuing that next thing that is going to make you passionate?
I think there's the best way for me to answer that is the way I've approached my business, or Yo-Yo Nation at least in the past, starting from the past 3 years, 3 years ago, starting 3 years ago, where I decided that I used to be the one to pack all the boxes and to do all the customer service emails and stuff like that. But I've turned Yo-Yo Nation into kind of a self-sufficient business where I can be in the Philippines and have the New York office and our UK office run autonomously, without really having to contact me or be in contact with me 24/7. And that's great that way because that affords me the opportunity to do many other things. The e-commerce, e-business consulting company, the photography thing, and now my new venture that's coming up in the Philippines, that I'll talk about another time maybe. But it's really great that way. And I still work on Yo-Yo Nation. I still play with yo-yos. That's why I'm in China right now doing the 10-city yo-yo tour for 24 days. But at the same time, I'm always thinking of other things because, again, with the way I've built my business, it lets me do it. I think that's important to think of as an entrepreneur too. Again, the difference between obsession and the difference between passion is to understand that you can be passionate about something, but it doesn't mean you have to do it 24 hours a day. It means that when you do it the right way and you do it the smart way, so that you can focus on other things.
And what is the smart way?
Did that answer your question, Michael?
I'm going to paraphrase one question from a user. Basically, you can be pursuing your passion. You're so passionate about it. You feel like the world needs your idea, but maybe there's not a business model. And you often hear the phrase, if you're passionate about something and you just focus on serving people, the money will take care of itself. How do you integrate that into it? And then also, can you go deeper into what you mean into building the business and doing the right things?
This might not be a great example, but I once asked a friend what their hobby is or what they really like to talk. She was telling me that she wanted to change jobs, and I'm like, well, what do you really like to do? What is it like to do? And her answer was honestly sleeping. Sleeping to me is not a hobby. I think it's a great thing. It's an important thing, but it's not a hobby. And to be honest, in that case, I couldn't. I don't know how to help you in that case, but and so what I'm trying to get at here is maybe not all passions of people are not really passions. So I think number one, you have to identify what your passion really is, and if it's something that it can actually be considered something that you're passionate about. Like, do you really understand what a passion is? I guess that's what it comes down to. So that's number one. Identification of what your passion is. Number two, if you're really passionate about it, and there is a product that could be involved somehow in that passion, a product or service, then there you go. You have a product or service that you can eventually sell. As trivial as it sounds, a yo-yo. Okay, it's a product. How can I sell this product to people? I don't know. That's the website. Or play with yo-yos myself so that other people can see these yo-yo tricks and people might want to see it. What else? Photography. I was really into photography for a while, but after 2 months or what is it, 2 months, 3 months of being into photography, I was nowhere near being a professional. But it's about how you sell yourself. It's about how people perceive you to really. If you can talk about something passionately, then you can sell yourself much better. So there you go. My first client, and I was combining that with the whole food thing. I sold myself just from talking about photography and cheese passionately, and And if you can do that, then you know you're really passionate about something. You have a product you can talk about passionately. You can start selling that product to some people, and there you go. You can start that way. That to me is the a good start. Identify, and then you identify whether or not you have a real passion. Identify your product, and then talk about it passionately to other people. And then there you go. You're selling it.